Hi, welcome to the first ever episode of the Ghic Talk. I am your hostess, the geek, Dawn Masuoka, and this is my very first attempt at live internet radio broadcasting. Thank you. Alright, so to get started, the origin, I started off with a webzine, and I was stupid and turned my site. I integrated WordPress into it and downgraded to a blog that I've never quite gotten the hang of. Haven't reverted it, so then I tried podcasting. Did that for a few months and saw that I could actually do live broadcasting. So here I am, live. Yay. This is it's kind of like a social experiment considering I'm an introvert, so we'll see how this goes. The segment, it is going to have questions that I shall answer on any topic so far. So we'll see how it goes, and if I change my policy to no topic is off limits. So we'll just see how vulgar things become. Yeah, I know. Alright, so I'm going to start off with today's celebrity birthdays. I looked them up, and so far the only birthday that I recognized was the only person, Lucy Lawless. She turns 45 today. And other than that, you can look it up. The rest of the entertainment news that I thought was interesting is America's Most Wanted has been canceled after 24 seasons. So 1,202 fugitives were captured over the show's lengthy run. I did not realize until last week or the week before, when on my podcast the topic was serial killers, that show was even on. Ooh, I forgot that one of the new things I was going to start doing was posting the most wanted person or somebody from the list. So for all the criminals that are still out there, I think it's my fault. I should have known better, and I should have started posting them so they would have gotten caught by now, because everybody goes to my website to check on those things. Alright, and then Jim Carrey backlashes at Fox News after posting his Funny or Die video on gun control. Greg, I'm not even reading my reading glasses, so this is hard here. Gutfeld, a Fox News personality, attacked Carrey after the clip went viral, saying he's probably the most pathetic tool on the face of the earth, and I hope his career is dead, and I hope he ends up sleeping in a car. This video made me want to go out and buy a gun. He thinks that this is biting satire going after rural America and a dead man. He's a dirty, stinking coward. He's such a pathetic, sad little freak. He's a gibbering mess. He's a modern bigot. And Jim Carrey's response, which I actually lost here. So let me try and get to. Hey, it's my first episode. I've messed up, okay? So sue me. Hold on, let me get to his comment on my notepad. I deleted. This is why I do things on paper. And this is why I should put on my reading glasses here. Alright, so Jim Carrey's response. Since I released my Cold Dead Hand video on Funny or Die this week, I have watched Fox News rant, rave, bare its fangs, and viciously slander me because of my stand against large magazines and assault rifles. I would take them to task legally if I felt they were worth my time, or that anyone with a brain in their head could actually fall for such an irresponsible buffoonery. That would gain them far too much attention, which is all they really care about. I'll just say this. In my opinion, Fox News is a last resort for kinda sorta almost journalists whose options have been severely limited by their extreme and intolerant views. A media colostomy bag that has begun to burst at the seams and should be emptied before it becomes a public health issue. I sincerely believe that in time, Good people will lose patience with the petty and poisonous behavior of these bullies, and Fox News will be remembered as nothing more than a giant culture fart that no amount of garlic could cure. I wish them all the luck that accompanies such. I should have planned this better. Alright, so yay, Jim Carrey going up against Fox News. I think everybody should. That just needs to go away. That station is a joke. It's a farce. When I first was introduced to Fox News, I thought it was a parody site. Unfortunately, I was wrong. In extremely good news, the movie The Host, which is an adaptation of pathetic and yet lucky writer Stephanie Meyer's, whose work, quote unquote, and it was her work, The Twilight Freak. It was directed and written by Andrew Niccol, did I say that right, who did The Truman Show, Gattaca, In Time, Lord of War. It has been met with such a wonderful wave of negative reviews, so I'm happy with that. But I bet the tryhards will still look it up and encourage more tripe to be doled out by the talentless hack Stephanie. I cannot stand her. She's just... I'm beyond words right now. Trying to think of what I had planned to say here before I get on to the questions. Alright, so today was my very first speeding ticket day, and my very first speeding ticket ever. You don't understand, I've never been pulled over for speeding before. I don't know if... I think I was possibly the most polite person this cop had ever pulled over. I did get the ticket. He came over to the car. My heart was just pounding. Here's the story, and I didn't say it to the cop. I figured, I just admitted guilt. I was nervous. If I contest this in court, just go to try and reduce the fee something, or hopefully get it thrown out. But if you live in the Dallas-Fort Worth area, the first couple years, I've almost lived here 2 years now, but the first year, every time I would go to and from work, I would just wind up at my destination frazzled. These drivers, if you're doing the speed limit, the next thing you know, you see somebody just kind of speed up behind you, ride your tail for a bit, then just quickly whip around, and it's just constant. Nobody uses their turn signals. Everybody's inconsiderate. It's terrifying, especially with all the new, there's so much construction going on in this area, and it seems never ending. And every week there's a new exit that's closed or open, and nobody knows what the hell they're doing, but they're not going to go the speed limit and take the time to figure it out. They do last second response turns. So if there's an off-ramp, you'll quickly see somebody go over 3 lanes, past where, you merge on, and they'll just go into the dirt or the grassy area, the knoll, and get on the exit. Nobody honks, nobody does anything. It's just terrifying. So this morning on my way to work, there was a car who was doing that to me. I've learned to, I speed up to go the flow of traffic, and I can't go very fast because at 70 my car starts shaking really bad. I know I should get it checked out. So speeding really isn't too much of an option for me. But in this instance, I had this white car, just riding my butt, and the moment that I decided I saw a clearing up ahead where I could safely get over a couple lanes to make it to my exit, because I was really close to work, and I figured if I just gun it, get over, I wouldn't have to deal with this, jackass anymore, and I'd be done with it. So as soon as I gunned it to 75, just to speed up so I can get over, stupidly and coincidentally, because I'm the most anal retentive driver out there 99% of the time. I am just a horrible, you don't want to be in the car with me. I will honk at people for not using their turn signal. I will honk at them for speeding, ironically. I I don't put up with that. So this time that I did that, I did it in front of a cop, and of course I get pulled over. And I was my heart was pounding. I was just freaking out. So he pulls me over. I roll down the window, and he comes over. So the first thing I do, which took him by surprise and made him almost chuckle, was I shook his hand when he came over. He said his name or something like that. I shook his hand and said, "Hi, my name is Dawn." He should have checked me for, did a sobriety test, because I guess people don't do that. And he asked if I knew what I did. I said I was speeding. He goes, "Do you know how fast you were going?" I told him 75, I think. He said that was spot on. Took about five or so minutes, the longest minutes of my life. I have an out-of-state driver's license, which I guess is a no-no. He asked me, later after he already wrote the citation, just like he was ready to, he just seemed upset more about the out-of-state driver's license. So I'm pretty sure if I had a Texas driver's license, then he probably would have let me go. But because of that, stupidly, I got the citation, and he asked me why I hadn't changed it yet. I told him because I was waiting for it to be closer to the expiration date. Although I have active insurance, my car is legal, it's registered, it's passed the emissions test and all the crap that they make you go through here in Texas. So I got that, I got all of that taken care of. He gives me the citation, tells me all these things to do to get the ticket reduced or contested. And where was I going? I got my first speeding ticket, and I don't know if this is something you celebrate or, it goes down in my history book. I thought I can go my whole life saying I've never gotten a speeding ticket, but I was stupid, and I gunned it in front of a cop, that as soon as I, press down on the gas to get away from the asshole behind me, I get pulled over. And I don't know if the judge would have mercy on me, considering it's my very first time ever getting pulled over for that. If I explain the situation, I felt I could have gotten over a lot earlier. There are other opportunities that I missed that I would have been able to change lanes, but I didn't. I was too annoyed with the person in front of me that I continued doing what I was supposed to be doing. Yeah. I hit that button twice. I mean, my live studio audience, they're not on cue. Alright, so that was my speeding ticket story. And I don't know why I'm doing this still. So here I am. I will move on to the questions after a quick break. Let's see, so I will give you some music to listen to while I do this, because this is my test time. I'm testing everything out. It's my very first live broadcast. In time, I'm hoping to integrate Skype into it so I can take live calls, hopefully get maybe somebody on the line so I can do interviews again. I was just thinking about that earlier. On my webzine, I used to interview people all the time, musicians, directors, actors, just a great variety of people that I tried to get a hold of, or that I got a hold of, and and did my little interviews when I could. And right around the time that I integrated WordPress into my website and did away with just all my tools, because my computer crashed and I had to get everything reformatted, new computer, and I lost the tools that I used to create my website along with a lot of my templates. And with life, being a single mother, etc., any excuse, I just did not have the time to go back and recreate. So I kept it blog form, and I'm not into the format of it all. And I counted all the people who I was supposed to be interviewing. I was just going through the list today. There are a lot of not actors, but the people agreed to interview with me. God, I'm trying to remember them all, but most were from like Stanley when he did the superhero show. I had Dinosaur Cop. I think that's the creator of that, and his it was then his 5-year-old brother. Which I should actually look that up to see if that's still going on. And quite a few others who I said, and King's X, a band, just people that I've just flaked on. Because I set up these interviews when I still had my webzine, and then I changed over, thought I could do it, just couldn't get the hang of it, and it all went away. They agreed to it, got everything set up, and then I just never followed through. So hopefully I can get back into that, get some good interviews going, just help expose people's projects, what they're doing. I really enjoyed that, especially indie films, the good ones, not the dime a dozen million crap fest out there. So hopefully I can get that going again. But through Skype, I can't get that configured yet. I'm not sure what I'm doing wrong, but I don't really have anybody to test that with. So when my significant other gets home, maybe we can do some testing on that. So if anybody winds up, if you're on my Facebook and you're listening to this, or if you're on my Facebook and you go back and listen to this, if you see Dawn's broadcasting live, whatnot, it says test, just don't get annoyed with that. I'm retooling some things. I know I can do, like, I could record a podcast, but I don't think it would tell me whether or not a live conversation, coming through would be okay. I don't have a landline, or I don't know how they do it on the radio, so I'm going to have to explore that a little bit more. But in reading the help section here, it looks like you can go through Skype and do that. So I'm going to try that. I haven't really tried. It's been a long time, many years since I've even been on Skype. I lost my microphone up until recently, and I just started doing this again. So okay, I was going to play music, take a quick break to get ready for the questions, and enjoy the sounds. I haven't uploaded everything yet, so you're just going to have to deal with whatever music I have in my little playlist, and you will be happy with it. And I will see you I'll be back in 4 minutes and 19 seconds.
Bad boys! Bad boys! Bad boys! Bad boys! The wild boys
All right, and we are back. All right, and I was thinking about a little bit further. That damn speeding ticket. I am a good driver. I should be cut some slack for that. I mean, when you spend a lifetime, carjacking and, driving a stolen car without a license, you have to drive well because it's not a crime if you don't get caught. All right? And I made damn sure that, I followed the law. I don't even jaywalk. Okay, Jeff convinced me to jaywalk. God, I would say that it was about 8 months ago, and I felt bad the whole entire time. I won't tell that to the judge. I don't need any extra tickets under my name. But God, I should be, cut me some slack. It would be wrong to say anal woman, but hey. Alright, so I'm going to get on to the questions now. And for all you guys out there who have, fiance or wife and you work nights, be careful. This is what they might wind up doing when you're away. So, God, I start off with a webzine, blog, podcast, live radio show. The only thing left, I guess, would be porn, which I'm not really interested in doing. Alright, so first question is how to make my hamster lose weight. It doesn't say who it's from, but in fact, none of these questions really tell me who they're from, so I'll just have to wing it here. How to make my hamster lose weight. Well, I would first say shame it. Usually when somebody or something is overweight, there's an underlying issue. Maybe it just likes food and you're feeding it too much. Cut back on the food, feed it at just specific times. It doesn't need to eat constantly. It doesn't always need to have food in the bowl. But if you're that concerned, I guess just, tell it, just make it feel self-conscious about itself. God, your fur is really making you look hippie lately. And it'll, wind up, either it'll eat more or maybe it'll just get into a depression and lose weight. I don't think you should be too concerned about it, but find out, feed it a little bit less and psychoanalyze it. Start asking it questions about, just find the root cause. There's always a core issue going on in there that you have to try and bring out of the hamster. Maybe it misses its mother, or maybe the hamster wheel is boring it, or it can't stand you and it's depressed and you won't let it leave, so it just sits there, wallows in food and pity, and is just gaining the weight. As long as the hamster wheel still turns, I guess that's a good sign. If it gets on the hamster wheel and it doesn't budge, then you have something to be concerned about, but I really doubt that's the case. Okay, so the next question I have is, how sturdy should the fourth wall be? I would say, like in most lives and situations, there shouldn't be a fourth wall. It shouldn't be there at all. Because how else are people going to be able to view you? How can they see you from, the different angles and interact with your life? So break down that fourth wall. The sturdiness of the fourth wall shouldn't be a thing. Okay. Next question. What's your favorite song over 20 minutes long? Alright, these questions are just dumb. Alright, what's your favorite song over 20 minutes long? The only song I can think of, and I don't know if it's quite at 20, is In the Garden of Eden, Iron Butterfly. I Okay, maybe I shouldn't do the questions here. Um, Maybe I'll wait until people write in some real questions or I get some good questions going on. Let me go down some more of these. Where do the pictures I send to strangers in Craigslist personal? Where do the pictures I send to strangers in Craigslist personal section go if the ads are fake? It still goes to the email address that you sent it to. It goes, especially if they're nude photos, it goes to the World Wide Web. What they do is they trace your email address. Once you contact that person, they have your email address. From that, they can track you on Facebook and get a hold of your friends list. They can see who your relatives are, and they send those pictures to each and every one of your relatives. If you don't have relatives listed, then it just gets sent to all your friends. So that's where your pictures go to that you send on Craigslist. So always be careful what you send over the World Wide Web. You never know who's on the other end. It could be me. I have tons of your pictures out there, and I am sending it to your parents as we speak. Okay, here's another question. How many people are allowed to drive in a car by a learner in Queensland? 3. That's my answer. It's 3. I know it's 3. Okay, does melatonin make you sleepy? No. It actually does quite the opposite. If you take melatonin, okay, what you're supposed to do is you're supposed to take at least, I would say, take about 3 or 4 of the little capsules, pills. Make sure you get the 5 or 10 one right before you go to work. And what it does is it energizes you up for your full work day. And by the time you get off work, you still have some extra energy to spend, but it'll make sure that when it's bedtime, you'll be able to go to sleep. So it gives you this extra burst of energy initially. Once it wanes, you'll be sleeping like a baby. All right, can I sue someone who punched me? No. No, if somebody punches you, then that's their right. I can't think of any country, let alone U.S. state that would allow you to sue somebody who punches you. It would get thrown out of court immediately. So don't even bother. All right, I am limiting my first broadcast to only 30 minutes. I've gone over that right now, so I'm going to end this. I will try again later, hopefully with better tools, better material. This is my first attempt, so it can only get better. Practice, practice, practice. And if not, as I said, there's still that porn thing. So have a good night, enjoy your Friday, and I will I will be back on Monday night at same time, 10 o'clock Central, 8 Pacific, 11 Eastern. What the hell is up with all these time zones? 7 o'clock Alaska time, 8 o'clock possibly Hawaii time, unless it's that time of year where they're the same as Alaska, or is it still 10 Central. I'll be back 10 Central. Have a good one.